self-discovery. Self-discovery. By you asking me these questions. Colonel J, I find you a fascinating individual. Are you on camera? If you're on camera, I will put you as a co-host. Here, I'm going to send you the co-host invitation. Unless you're hideous. No, you don't want to be a co-host. Okay, so you prefer to be anonymous or staying in the background. Now, Colonel J, how did you become a colonel? Were you in the military? How old are you, first of all? Who is this upstart asking me questions? Are you of age to ask me questions? Like you can't type 65 right now. You can type whatever you want, but your questions seem to be somewhat mature. Well, actually, they've stopped now, so I guess either we have a big lag or you just ran out of steam. So talk to me. How have you been? What's going on in your life? Talk to me. What's doing over there in Cali? You had a couple of earthquakes this... Oh, wait. Why do I keep saying California? You're in Canada, aren't you? Colonel J is going out tonight. You're in Canada. I know. You know what it is? The CA. I always picture CA, and then I make the mistake that it's not Canada, it's California. Because in the U.S., when you mail a letter, you don't have to put CALIF. Oh, Colonel J is from England. Well, okay, if you're from England, then how do they pronounce colonel over there? Don't they say colonel or something? The Brits? England, oh, that puts a whole different spin on it. My word, rather. That means it's nearly 8 o'clock over there in England. Woo, it's getting late. 8 o'clock on a Friday night. Yeah, 8 p.m. Correct. Yes, you see, I'm a man of the world. I'm aware of the fact that there are different time zones. You were up at 2 a.m. You've been up since 2 a.m.? Are you suffering from a sleep disorder? You probably woke up looking for some good food because the food is so bad in England that people can't sleep. You'd be sleeping at 3 a.m. in the morning. Wait, I don't get that. How does that work? You woke up at 2, you went back to sleep at 3, and then you woke up again now? I mean, what are you saying? What are you saying? You're on a night out. Oh, after you go partying. 25 hours. Yow. Okay, so that means you got to be young. You got to be in your 20s to 30s, because you can't party like that when you're old. You pass out. I mean, I went to the beach. I'll give you an example. I went to the beach yesterday, okay? I went to the beach. I was the only person in the water because it was 80 degrees, but it was a cold wind blowing, and the water was about 50 degrees. But I jumped in because I said, I'm at the beach. I came here to swim. And I had my boogie board, but I was the only person. Everybody else looked at me like I was insane. And yes, it was cold. And yes, I thought I was going to die. When I first jumped in, I was like, oh, I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio outside the Titanic. I was like, oh, man, you're going to freeze to death. You're going to die. But once you're in for a while, your body acclimates itself, and then I was great. It was only when I came back out of the water that I was shivering. So, I'm a strategist interested in history and world wars. Yeah, okay, that's a safe bet. I am. I'm very interested in it. You know why? There's that phrase that lives in my head. People who don't recognize the mistakes of the past are doomed to repeat them. So I want to know. I want to know everything. I want to know why these things happen. I want to know about who controls the masses. How did these people become in power? Why do people so readily accept the things that they tell them to? Why doesn't more people question things? And yes, geography interests me too because I live on a big planet and I want to see the whole thing. And I haven't been to England yet. I've been to Ireland, so I got to get over to England. But I've seen a lot of your shows, so I kind of feel like I know England. And I do like to be sarcastic, yes. And why do I like to be sarcastic? I don't know. It's just snappy. Snap keeps you on your toes, keeps you thinking. Because I'm a smart ass by nature. I don't know what to do with this hair, man. Should I go with the Beatles? I'm just glad I got it. So, anywho. Well, sarcasm is greatly appreciated in England, from what I understand. Isn't that on their flag, sarcasm? I used to watch Monty Python, and they were British, and they said sarcasm. You know what I like about sarcasm? That it stands out more. I mean, you go to a party and you meet, hi, this is Mr. and Mrs. Blah, and you can't discriminate, you can't distinguish one from the other because everybody's just nodding their head with pleasantries and their drinks, like, oh, tell them your funny story. Yes, today I almost missed my train. The door was just about to close and then I got on. Oh, yeah, great. That's some story you got there, Slick. And that's it, but sarcasm lets you twist things around. It lets you stand out. It lets you use your mind. I have a very restless mind, as you can tell by my endless rambling. Okay, and I have to wear these glasses so I can read what you wrote. And you haven't written anything new. Okay, great. Let's take a look at Blogstar, because I'm also broadcasting over there. Let's see if anybody's come in. Nope, not one. Hi, Blogstar. I'm so glad I decided to do a show here because there's nobody home. That's cool. That's all right by me, though, because it's on the archives. Actually, it says there are 3 people watching, but they're not in the studio. So hi, you 3 people. I hope I'm keeping you entertained. All right, before the cartoons come on or whatever. I think it's obvious that you wanted to be an author, but you're not being successful. Sad but true. Well, it's my own doing, though. I'll tell you something. I am a good writer. I'm a darn good writer, but I'm not a good writer in the sense of the discipline necessary to sit down and complete a work. And there is my tragic flaw. Yes, there is my tragic flaw. I don't have the discipline. And I've got to change that, because if I don't change that, then I will have come and gone and ceased to exist, and all I'll have are some YouTube videos floating around. And maybe somebody will watch those, and maybe somebody will benefit from them. But I did complete one novel. I've written a book called A Tangled Web. I'm not terribly proud of it because it was hastily written, and there are a lot of things I could have gone into greater detail with, but I do like a great deal of it. There's good dialogue. There's a good storyline. People who read it tell me that they were very entertained. One woman that wrote to me, and I don't even know her, but she wrote to me and she said she would read it. She read it during her breaks from work, and it was like it got to the point where she was so looking forward to her lunch to read my book every day, and she missed all her lunch because she was reading it and she forgot to eat. So that made me feel good. Is it about my life? A tangled web? Yes, somewhat. When you were younger, this might sound absurd, but I think you might play with marbles. That is pretty absurd because I wasn't a big marble player. I admired the glass for what they were. It's pretty, they're attractive, but I couldn't begin to tell you how to play marbles. I mean, unless you're talking way, way younger, because I think I threw a marble every here and there, Although, when I was in the 5th grade, Doc, they had these things that came out called click-clacks. There were two glass crystals on a long string, and you can bang them together, and they would go really fast, and then they would go up and down. They got taken off the market, though, because they tended to shatter, and glass fragments would hit people in the eyes. But I never shattered mine, but I did enjoy playing with them, my click-clacks. I played with my balls, my glass balls. They look kind of like a scrotum hanging there, but, in glass. I have no class. I really don't. I hear myself talk and I say, okay, when you were younger, either you or your dad was a drinker. No. I was big in the drug department, but not the drink. I have no capacity for drinking. It makes me sick. But I did do the white powder, the Tutorutski, if you will, cocaine, and that was mainly to wake up, I think, because I've always been tired. I always want to go to sleep. No, I've had some sort of chronic tiredness. I think that comes from iron poor blood or retardedness, or I don't know. What else we got? BRB, wait a minute, you can't be right back. This is a fascinating interview. What'll I do in the meantime? I'll talk to me. Hi, talk to me. Hey, there's Pat Scat Squatchawan came in here. Somebody. Welcome. Pat Cat's Wales. Oh, see, I attract the people from the UK. Because I assume Wales is the that continent, or that country in England, above England. Wales, Welsh. Am I correct, Pat's Cats Whales? Good. So now, are you a male or a female, Pat's Cats? If you're, I would say female. Male. Now see, I would say female.